Back in the building once again. This is Robert Antoine along with the lovely
Constance Carter.
And we believe that for every situation,
there is a conversation.
Hashtag Conversation Starters Live. You know what, y'all? Y'all are listening to the #1 entertainment platform in the world. That's right. I said it in the WORLD. That means all over the place. In Africa, in Indonesia, in Antarctica, in Asia, they are bumping.
And all the A's?
Starters Live.
All the A's? And all
the A's.
I love it. All right.
You can meet me in the A. What's going on, Constance Carter? It is Friday. You're looking beautiful as always.
You are so sweet to my soul, Robert. Well, you listen, I don't have the same background as you.
But so you're so smart, you don't need a background. The front ground is what's popping.
I appreciate that, brother. I'm traveling. So I am in Dallas, Texas right now. I tried to do a little something, but it just didn't work. You told me just to go ahead and take it down and just do the white wall. So I am here and I'm ready to get it popping. We have a great guest today. You guys, I know you guys is excited. I hope they are as excited as I am excited because when I saw this chocolate brother get on here today, the ladies are going to be in for a treat, my brother.
The chocolate is popping, huh?
The melanin is popping. It's hella popping.
Hella popping. Well, that's all good. I love it. I love it. Well, as we keep going and moving along, we want to make sure that you share this out. Go tell your grandmama and your cousins and them that Constance and Rob are on Conversation Starters Live right now. So make sure that you heart it up, that you light it up.
Share
and share,
subscribe, follow, share,
all that,
yes.
Absolutely. So we want to see you out there in the feed. Tell us who you are, tell us where you're listening from, and make sure you shout out my girl Constance because she is popping with the red lipstick
always.
Yes. So it is Friday and there's a lot happening in the news.
Yeah, I agree.
Have you been keeping tabs on what's popping out there? I know you got something to talk about.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening this week. So I just came from Virginia. I was in Virginia this week with my daughter, and at Target the other day, and I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I said, "What's a WAP?" And she was like, "I can't even tell you what it is, so I'm just gonna let you hear it." Then she played, "There's a hole, there's a hole," and I was just like, "This sounds like porno." So I was like, "Wow!" But then as I was listening to it, you know, as a listener of hip hop, I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics necessarily, but I was listening to the flows, and I was like, "Hey, Megan Thee Stallion, her flows are kind of cool. I kind of like it." But you know, the question is, would you let your children? Do you think this song is appropriate for your children? That's Megan Thee Stallion, and that's who's another chick?
Cardi B.
Meg and Cardi. My bad. I know. I'm not up on pop culture as I should be. But would you let your kids listen to that? How old?
It's not a matter of would I let them listen to it, because the kids and grandmama and them, we have so much access to social media. So just about anything you want to hear, old, current, or back in the day, you can access it. So the babies, unfortunately, know more about pop culture than I do, because they are glued. I say glued to some form of social media, whether that be their computer, their Mac, or their iPhone. So I think the question of the day, I'd like to get some feedback from the people out there in the Conversation Starters Live audience, is that is it cool to sing along the lyrics of Cardi B, because I just found out what WAP means too. So I'll tell you, for me, Constance, you know, I got babies. They're older now. They're all teenagers, post-teenagers, I should say. And I'm still, I got the parental censor button on. Like when I know it's about to get to the good part, they about to say something really explicit, I will either turn the station or I just simply will not. I say I will not sing along. Sometimes that might be my part.
So you ain't listening with the kids.
If they're listening to it, I have to give them the dad face, like,
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I really want them to keep it playing, but some things, you know, we should be censoring. But I just know for me as a parent, you know, I certainly lived a great 20-year-old lifestyle, teenage lifestyle, and everything that was popular then. I certainly listened to it, much to the chagrin of my parents. But
I did too. I'm
the parent now.
Yeah, you know what? So let me just tell you. So when my daughter was growing up, like it was she was, I think it wasn't until she was in 8th grade that I started letting her listen to the radio. I censored everything. Like she was my princess. So like she couldn't watch anything over PG-13. She was like listening to Disney stuff. That's kind of what I had her on. Her friends, you know, of course, and she was very naive. So she said when she went away to college that she didn't know a lot because I kept her sheltered. And I was okay with that. I'm still okay with that. You know, for me, I feel like, look, when you get grown, you're gonna be grown. You're gonna be grown for the rest of your life. When you're a kid, you could be a kid. So I'm not going to sit there and listen to that type of stuff with my children. I know that they're going to listen to it without me, but I ain't going to listen to it with it. Now, will I listen to some Megan Stallion? Yeah. Big old break. Big woody. Yeah. Do I know all the lyrics to that? Yeah. But I ain't going to sing it along with my boys. You know what I mean? Because they're all younger. I might sing it along with my 21-year-old daughter. But she, you know, before then, she like wouldn't even listen to it with me. So, you know, we just kind of got this thing. Me and my daughter, we are like best of friends, but she's still a child. And there's some things that I don't tolerate. So like when she, you know, she be buddying, and then she'll just get out of, you know, she'll start acting like she's grown. I'd be like, hey, I ain't one of your little friends. So, you know, I do have to put that on.
You know what's funny about that? I echo the same sentiments, but I've had Chase, who's my son. He has gotten gotten hold to the song, and he's going lyric for lyric, and I'm kind of flowing along with him, but I know what's coming next, so I'll kind of give him that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
I listen to you. They gonna really say it. You gonna really say it?
Well. Chase is so smooth with it, like he'll substitute a word instead of the word.
Oh yeah. That's how we got
what I mean.
That's how we used to do it when we was growing up.
No, actually, I couldn't listen to that kind of stuff in my household.
In your house, but you listen to it outside of your house.
I certainly listen to it. Absolutely.
You listen to NWA. Don't act like you wasn't listening to all this. Yeah, come on.
That's what a Walkman was for. That's what the boom box was for. Shout out to my man at Bump Box. We are always rocking with the Bump Box. Make sure that you go out and select Bump Box as your preferred music. Woo! When you're out there in them streets. Yeah. I wish we had a real summer this summer, Constance, because Bump Box would have been hot. Do you follow them on Instagram?
I do. They in fact, I just talked to the owner of Bump Box just yesterday. And man, the amount of business that they're doing right now is crazy. The amount of bills that they got right now is crazy. You know, Nike and Adidas, and they are Jordan. And in fact, we're gonna go out there. You and I are gonna go and hook up with them. So whenever you come to town, we'll go and hook up with Bump Box and
for sure. Now is he in Texas or he's in Cali?
He's in Cali.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, you know the owner of Bump Box. So quick story: the owner of Bump Box used to be my tenant, and he actually said that he just did an interview last week, and he talked about me in this interview, and he said that I inspired him, and I gave him a chance when nobody gave him a chance. He was fresh out of prison. His credit was terrible, and now this guy's a multi-millionaire, owns all these properties. I've sold him all these properties, has a Lamborghini, has a, Range Rover, living in a fat house that I've sold him, and is just doing very, very, very well. But very, very humble beginnings. I mean, it was just a few years ago.
He's got all the big boy toys, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, he's doing great. But the biggest thing about this guy is he has a heart of gold.
I love it.
Shout out to Robert Owens, CEO.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I'm gonna hold you to it. Now, when I come out to Cali, don't play no games.
Got you.
Let's go through, holler at my man Bump Box, because he supports the our IG page a lot. So I want to go through, show him some love and hang out with him. But as we move along, Constance, I know you schmork and you're watching news.
That's right.
And if you have been watching the news, we have the potential for the first time ever to have Black girl magic in the White House.
Woo! Yeah. So what is that going to be like for our little Black girls, seeing Black girl magic in the White House? We've seen it over the last 8 years ago with Michelle Obama.
Oh, no doubt.
But to see live and in color from a VP, an actual VP that's actually making decisions for these great United States is going to be unbelievable. And what it's going to do is going to show all little Black girls all over the world that it's possible. We never seen this before. And so this is history in the making. And I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what that fool in office says. It's going to happen. Did you hear what he's saying about her right now? Is she even in
she's not from she's probably from China. That dude is wild. I'm not even going to say his name, but listen, shout out to Kamala Harris. Thank you so much for representing the culture so well. I am going to make sure that we get out in droves to rock the vote so that you and Joey B can get on in the White House. And make sure that you talk to the brother before y'all go out. You remember the conversation that your mama used to have with you before you go in the store? Don't look at nothing, don't touch nothing, and don't say nothing. Repeat what I said. Don't look at nothing, don't say
touch nothing, don't say nothing.
That's the conversation, Kamala, I need you to have with Joe before you get out there and say anything out of pocket. But kudos to you, Kamala Harris and family. I support you. I salute you. And I can't wait to see Black girl magic in the White House again.
Absolutely. And, listen, in other news, your favorite people, your favorite couple, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend are expecting. So the question,
we're not ordinary people.
Yeah, that one. So the question for you, Robert, is what is the right number to shut down the baby making?
You know what's funny about that, Constance? My grandparents and everybody from my mother's generation up, they had no less than 5 kids in any family. You got families of 8, 10, 12, 20, right? And when you're a kid, from time to time you play house. I'm not going to tell you how I played house back in the day, but it was a cool idea to have a bunch of kids until you had that first kid. And then if you're brave enough to have that second kid, by the time you get to number 3, you say, wait a minute, this is too much. This is too much. I don't know. You know what? As long as you got one of each, like one boy and one girl, that's enough. You tap out. That's good. Real talk.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I tell you, if I had that 4th one as my number 1, I would only have 1. Because when I had that 4th, he was like having 4 all in one. But you know what? As they got older, it became really cool. Now, when they were all had 3, I had 3 in diapers, almost just about 3 toddlers, 3 babies. And then my daughter was, she's 5 years older than the oldest boy, but it was really, really tough. Now, as they're older, it's really fun having a big family. We have so much fun together. We sit down and talk. We go on vacations. It's really cool. So, I could probably have 2 more. But if they were like born grown. They're not even born grown.
Okay, well, right on. You know what you could do? You can take your egg and his, male reciprocal part, kind of, and then have a surrogate. I think that's what J-Lo did.
Why would we do that?
I mean, you could.
I want a grown kid. I don't want a baby.
Oh, you want a grown kid? Oh, okay, Constable. Well, good luck with that. I like to hear out in the feed. How many kids is too many kids? Because I grew up as an only child, and I wish I had brothers and sisters. I didn't find out until later on in life that I had a younger brother and an older sister, and I love them both dearly. But I missed out on them soul food, breakfasts and dinners. I had to always go to my friend's house to get that big family feel. But I'd love to know, how many kids is enough kids when you're making babies?
Well, I'm going to go back really quick to a question or a comment that Asia Jackson said. She said the song opens doors for intimate conversations with your children about respect, womanhood, confidence, self-aware choices. Also, it allows you to drop nuggets of guidance versus letting the world influence them without your consent. There's some holes in this house.
Yeah. I would love, Asia, to hear how you introduce that conversation. There's some in this house.
Son.
Son, what they're trying to say is, you don't go somewhere and set out, Asia. But I love it, though. You should always keep the door of communication open. And the one thing that I'm going to keep preaching until somebody hears me, Constance, your kids don't listen to what you say. They listen to what you do.
You're absolutely right.
So and be sure you living what you're talking.
Yeah. Donna Griffin says, have as many as you can afford and love. And I'm telling you, having a lot of children, I'm telling you, it has been probably one of the biggest blessings in my life. They keep me going. My daughter, I wish I had more. I wanted to have 2 boys, 2 girls. That last one, he came out really pretty like a girl, but he wasn't a girl. And he's like the boy is the toughest boy ever. So I didn't have my second girl, but I got 3 amazing boys. They are trifling, but they are so respectable. They are so loving. They're so kind, and they're a great representation and reflection of myself and their dad. So I'm really blessed in that way. Do they clean up? No. Do they scratch their balls and play video games all day? Yeah. But I wouldn't trade them for the world. Yeah.
Do they what?
Scratch your nuts and play video games all day. Absolutely.
Okay, that part.
As long as I let them. Yeah. You know about that.
Well, I'm all about baby making, but you tell Diana that I don't want to have any more because I don't love them all the same. I want to love them all the same, but I'm here to tell y'all, I'm telling you the secret. There are favorites with children. You can try to love them all the same, but there are some that are more affectionate with you. There's some that communicate with you more. There's some that listen better. There's some that just make the family unit work. And then there are those problem children that you just shake your head and just go, So I'm done. Tap out.
You know what? I love all mine different.
Equally?
Right? I love them different equally. But I've told them all that they're my favorite.
Oh, absolutely.
And I've been telling them all that they're my favorite for years. And then them little boogers started talking to each other. And then they discovered that mom was telling all of us that we were her favorites. It was like, so they were like, okay, so they would do special things for me because they were my favorite. Then they found out that they were all my favorites. And so now, they're just like, Mom, whatever. And I still tell them, or if I do something for one, because, all my kids are spoiled, I'll, give one of them some money. And another one's like, well, how come you didn't give me any money? I like him better than I like you. And they're okay with that. Like they're because they know I love them all the same. So they don't trip off of that stuff because they know I will give them anything that they ask. So Diana said, oh no. You are wrong, Robert. They are not. You should not have favorites. They are all different. You should love them the same.
I'm just going to tell it like it is. Okay.
Like it is.
Okay. Well, all my kids are my favorites, but there is a favorite.
I have no favorites. My daughter is my ride or die, my bestie. My oldest boy, I call him my fat Lardy. My little middle, he's quiet. He's like me though. He's a fighter. And my baby boy, he's my face on a little boy. Super cute.
Well, listen, you know what? We have just gone on and on and on about all of your babies. All of them are your favorite in different ways. The love you have for each one is unlimited. That part, I agree. I totally agree. But I want to talk to somebody who knows something about big families. Matter of fact, man, I want to bring on this brother who has been a melanin cat in the game for a long, long time. But I think for most of us, we got introduced to him when we were watching Big Mama on the movie that defines every Black family in America, the love, the kindredship, the drama that's going on.
Let me tell you.
Soul food. But I want to tell y'all and introduce you to Conversation Starters Live, Mr. Darrin Henson.
Woo! Darrin. Oh, perfect timing. Man, Darrin, there. The brother is back there having technical difficulties, so I was trying to stall you out a little bit, Rob. But I'm gonna tell you this because he's still having some technical difficulties. One of my most favoriteest movies that came on I think it was on Showtime was favorite. And I tell you, when that went off the air, that broke my heart. Yeah, I was like, why? That was the best show ever.
Yeah.
And that little chocolate brother, he was my most favoriteest character ever.
Yeah, you know.
Oh my God.
We have it's amazing because we're in the 20th year anniversary right now.
20th year anniversary.
Has it been that long?
Oh my God. Hasn't, you know what? Time flies so fast, Robert.
Yeah, this year we celebrated
20 years. Wow. You know what? We're having a little bit of technical difficulty bringing Darrin in.
Yeah,
but I see it.
Still been looking like Darrin Hathaway.
I've been so many places. Sometimes I sing a song.
Made some
acting out my life in stages.
With 10,000
people watching.
Here I am, still alone. What's his words?
Sing a song to you.
What does he look like, Donnie Hathaway? He's coming right back, y'all. He is coming right back.
That one was mean though. You seeing with the dope, the rope chain?
Yeah.
He had on his sweater, and then he had the little hat like cocked just so.
When that brother came on there backstage earlier, I was like, whoa!
Yeah.
He shocked me a little bit, but let's go back to the comments. Diana says she has 5 sisters. All of us are a year apart. All of our names are D. My mom grew up with 8 brothers and sisters. I have 36 first cousins. A big family is the best ever.
Totally agree.
She is absolutely right. Look, Judith said, great segment. Guess who Judy is?
Oh, who is Judy? Judy cute.
Yeah. Judy. I told you, you know Judy. You know her from PNC. We just interviewed her nephews.
Oh, Juan Moore.
Okay, you guys. So do you guys know who Wanya Morris is from Boyz II Men? If you don't know,
it's another Christmas time of year. I can't say it.
I don't like the way you work at that microphone. I do not like the way. Don't do that. Wait a minute, Robert. So Wanya Morris has 6 kids.
6, yeah.
All of them sing. And his boys, 4 boys, they have a little group, and they are absolutely fantastic.
They're fire. Absolute fire.
Oh, God. So you will see them on Conversation Starters Live in September, I think the weekend of the 4th, I believe. We're going to have them on, but I'm so excited about seeing them because those boys, and they said, woo, did they sing a little Smokey?
They broke it down. I mean, it was absolute fire. I was pleasantly surprised. I remember when you told me about them, and I just love to see talented people sing. It's 7 kids. Thank you, Judy. Hey, Judy, how many kids you have?
Karen says she loves us. We love you too, Karen.
We love you back, Karen.
Yeah. So they did a little Michael too. The littlest one sounds just like Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Jackson 5. Didn't he? Oh my God. So if you guys are not following Juan Moore, WANMOR, go follow them on Instagram. They are absolute fire. Okay. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, we are waiting on Darrin Henson to get his technical difficulties together. What you say?
You got one, boy or girl?
I think she has a daughter. What do you think? Look at Judy looking all fine on this picture. Get it, girl.
She's looking cute.
Mm-hmm. Well, Robert is looking last week. Okay, let's talk about that because last week on our show.
Please, no.
Okay, let me ask you this, Rob. Let me ask you this. Was the inbox, was the DMs blazing?
Nope.
Lies. Lies.
Mm-mm.
So last week Robert put a petition out because he's single and he is looking for a
I did not put a petition out. We were talking.
Huh?
We were talking.
No, you put a petition out. Yeah. Yeah. You said, I am looking for a wife. You brought it up. You said, I'm looking for a wife. And then you gave your criteria. You had 6 criteria that you were looking for a wife. And you said, if I said, DM him if you are interested. And some folks was on there. They was like, hey, I live in Indianapolis.
I didn't get any DMs.
Yeah, I don't believe it. But guess what? Darrin's back.
I think I finally got it going now, you guys. I apologize to all the people watching and listening. Peace and blessings to you. I apologize for the technical difficulty, but it is not my fault, as they say.
And
Big dog. You know what he did, Constance? He got on that tight shirt. He went and did some push-ups. Oh, Debo.
Oh, is that what I did? Is that what I did?
Did some push-ups, boy. Man, you looking good, brother. You are looking good.
Looking like Hathaway. Come on.
I appreciate you. And let me start this saying, first of all, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you. I think both of you are wonderful and entertaining and insightful and just fun to listen to and watch. So thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate that. So you were just saying that 20 years from my favorite show of all time. Are you guys thinking about doing a reunion?
Well, they've been talking about it. It's taken quite a few years to actually get the rights to do it because there's so many people who own the rights. So you have Fox that owns the rights. You have Showtime that owns the rights. Paramount that owns the rights. The Edmonds owns the rights. So collectively, they have to all agree on actually doing it. The fans want it for 20 years. You know, we went off in 2004, 2005, and the fans have been asking for it ever since. So I think that they side and they group with you and agree with the fact they want to see a Soul Food reboot with the same cast members that were on the series. They don't want to see new people in the roles, which we're really thankful about. And I think that everybody is ready to go and shoot. We are all ready to go and play ball. I think everybody looks great. They feel great. And, we're excited about getting back together again.
Now, why did it go off the air in the first place? Because I mean, everybody I know watched it. Why did it go off the air?
The true and honest answer was a change of guards. The way it works is when heads of studios change, they change the pre-existing shows. So in other words, if I took over a studio, those shows are great, but I want to bring in my own shows now.
Yeah.
So we the face of Showtime. And as it goes, they didn't want the person that was coming in, didn't want an African-American show to be the face of Showtime. And we were the face. You know what I mean? We were the George Washington on their dollar bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just how it goes. You know, when studio heads change, they change the content. You know, that's when the whole vampire thing came in. It just changed.
Yeah. So in terms of the cast, I mean, so after something like this disbanded, I know it's bittersweet, right? You know, so as far as like camaraderie and keeping in touch, I mean, do you still actively keep in touch, or has it kind of waned off? Because you're talking about 20 years of knowing somebody and everybody kind of branching off, doing their thing, trying to get that paper.
We're all still really close. We don't speak every day. I'd lie if I say we spoke every day, but we're all really close. Actually, we got together a couple of weeks ago and helped Trayvon Martin's mom.
Wow.
Raised $25,000 for her campaign. She's running for office in Miami.
That's right.
County.
Yeah.
And and on the anniversary of Soul Food, we actually use that anniversary to help raise money for her. So, you know, like in the essence of Soul Food, we're always giving because it's food for the soul as well.
Let me ask you this, because I know that I remember you started off dancing. I remember you used to have little videos, you was dancing, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's the guy. He looks like the guy that was dancing on Darrin's. Wait a minute, I think he's the guy on Soul Food, right? So what was the progression from being that dancer to actually getting into movies? How did that work?
Well, honestly, this is how it happened. I always wanted to dance, and that's what I did. When I got in and I became one of the strongest dancers, I became a choreographer because I wanted to call the shots. In 1999, I decided I worked with everybody I wanted to work with: Michael Jackson, Prince, and everybody else.
I'm sorry, excuse me, but who are those names you work with there, brother?
Michael Jackson and Prince.
The Michael
else.
The Michael Jackson.
Damn.
I worked with Michael Jackson for about a year, and then the following year, 1996, I worked with Prince. I was in charge of his performances and shot and choreographed the face down video. And so yeah, I worked.
How do you go from Michael Jackson and Prince, and then from where do you go up from there? Right?
That's why I was done. That's honestly why I was done. So at that same time, miraculously and blessed enough that I booked Soul Food in March. So I had filmed Soul Food, and then I think around June I choreographed Bye Bye Bye, and so I won the MTV Music Award for Bye 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 in September, and I was on a hit television series. So it was
everything you touched turned to gold, right?
It was written that way. It was written that way. And so I give thanks to the Most High every day for my history and for what I've contributed to society. Because with Darrin's Dance Grooves alone, that speaks for itself. With Soul Food alone, that speaks for itself. So I'm humbled by the millions of people all over the world. I mean, I remember going to Africa and I got jumped, in a good way in the street, because Soul Food is so well loved and so well watched still today.
Yeah.
In Africa. So it plays all over the world. Same thing in the UK, just everywhere. It's such a very profound show and really has set a precedent in my life.
So if you're listening in the Conversation Starters live feed, heart it up, like it up for my main man, Darrin Henson. It's the Darrin Henson from Soul Food. But I'm getting ready to switch gears real quick, Constance. And I got a confession to make, Darrin.
Front row.
I remember you from Stomp the Yard. And you were a Mu Gamma. And I had the nerve to kind of not like you, brother, because he was the character of the show. He was going through some hard times, and I'm like, who is this privileged Negro treating Megan Good all bad? I don't like this dude. And I loved you so much from Soul Food. So my question is, have you ever been out in the streets and people not be able to separate the Darrin Henson from the characters that you play? Like, hold on, player. Wait.
13 years later, Stomp the Yard came out in January of 2007. And 13 years later, they're still walking up to me going, I hated you in that film. So I look at it like I did a good job. The interesting part about that movie was I auditioned for the DJ character. I wanted to play DJ. But I think they felt my energy and the force and just kind of like that, like, no, we want you to play Grant. And so when we were actually doing the film, the director, Sylvan White, asked me to punch him up and just give him that kind of egotistical vibration. And I didn't want to play him that way, because I think whenever you play characters that are the antagonists, it's important to play them from a real life perspective, and you have to play their need. But he wanted it to be kind of like blatant good guy, bad guy. So, I was in the family and I played it that way. And it was very easy for people to choose sides, which they wanted it. They wanted it to be very, very black and white. They wanted it to be good versus.
Darrin, you played the hell out of that role, so much so. Straight up, I didn't like you, dude.
So let me ask you a question. So are you, because you seem like you study the art of acting. Are you a method actor, or you're more of a character actor? What type of
and well, this is the thing. Character actors are method actors. And what that simply means is we don't apologize for dropping into what Susan Batson, who's one of, in my opinion, the greatest acting coaches in the world, is dropping into the truth. In other words, I didn't hang out with the theaters or for on screen. I didn't eat with the theaters or for on screen. I didn't talk to the theaters or for on screen, only when it was time to do the role. For 3 months, I stayed in character. And I remember when we wrapped, and I was like, man, we finished this movie. Everybody, great job. And they were like, they looked at me like I was crazy.
You brand new.
Yeah, because for 3 months, I had no context with them at all. And I was Grant for 3 months.
I love it. So that is a method actor then, because you
absolutely.
You really get into the character.
I did the same thing. I did the same thing with when I played Jim Brown in The Express. I did the same thing when I was Raven and Tekken in the martial arts fight film. And subsequently, a lot of what was going on in Lem's life was going on in my life. What people don't know is that I didn't study acting until I started acting. So all I knew was to be. It's kind of like we're not human doings. We're human beings. So I just be, I become. So I be, so it comes. And when energy happens in life, energy doesn't know the difference between acting and real. It's the vibration that you carry. So real, true actors drop into the truth.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Pastor Darrin Henson. You can cash app him, Venmo him, because he ain't doing, he's being. And when he be, he come. So y'all better get ready. You know what, Constance? One thing that I will say to you is that, when we talk about MCs, we say he got bars or she got bars.
Right.
Well, Darrin, you got movies on your resume. I didn't know you were working like that, brother. I know a lot of cats out there that are your contemporaries, but they don't have that on their resume, bro.
Yeah, I was looking at his IMDb and I was like,
I'm so thankful.
Nonstop. Yeah.
I'm so thankful. One of the things that are important is, I really mean that. I'm thankful that you have acknowledged that, because it's about reinvention. One of the constants in the universe is change. We must keep evolving. It was like you were talking about the gentleman who started off with nothing and now he's a multi-millionaire, and you in some aspect assisted with that by, getting him properties, right? So it's the same thing. It's, come as you are, but you can't stay as you are. So it's about evolving. It's about going through it so you can grow through it, so you can ultimately glow through it. But you gotta go through it. You gotta allow yourself to go through it, like really go through it. So then you can grow through it. And then when you come out on the other side, you're glowing through it.
Come on, somebody.
I'm telling you right now, I feel a little bit of TD coming on. The boy is preaching right now. And I just want to tell everybody, if you're watching Conversation Starters Live, come on, somebody. TJ Jakes needs you to just get the cash app going because the brother is deep.
Somebody,
man.
So you can go.
Listen, Darrin. So in terms of your acting career and you dance a little bit, I remember you were a judge on the show, and I always liked your honesty and your energy. And I've always found it really difficult to put myself in that chair. We all know about American Idol and America's Got Talent. And it's easy to be the good guy, right? Even to the point where I'm like, that was some garbage. What y'all talking about? And it's easy to be the Simon Cowell or the bad guy. But I found that you were fairly even keel. Like if somebody deserves some heat, you gave them heat. If somebody deserves some love, you gave them love. So that balance, kudos for doing that, because I don't really see that a lot on popular TV. Like sometimes it's like, dude, what are you watching?
And clearly I don't like being called out of my name either. So one of the things about that particular show that was on the Lifetime Network was, I did that as a favor because, I'm not a reality show dude. And the thing is with those guys, they were so big and muscle bound. They weren't dancers, and that whole world is a completely different world from the artistry that I created. And so I couldn't do what I wanted to do because I had to work with different bodies who weren't able bodies to perform that way. So you had one particular person that was in there who did come from the world that I came from that wanted to do different things, but he wasn't a team player, which is why he got fired in the end anyway. But that was the wonderful world of reality shows. And one of the things that I did learn was I never want to do that again. They could have that reality stuff. unless I'm producing it, or unless it's something where it's like The Voice or America's Best Dance Crew or World of Dance, where it's really dealing with some creative people who are bringing the heat, I'm not interested.
Listen, bro. Check this out, D. What you're saying is very, very pertinent in today's climate. What you say gets misconstrued and twisted. So speaking of which, if you were in a national spotlight, it's tough to be you and appeal to the masses, right? Sometimes when we appeal to the masses, we call you a sellout, we get you watered down. What do you think about that whole Nick Cannon thing where he kind of spoke on something on his own personal platform, but it was like, right now, if I could talk to Nick, I'm like, dude, don't apologize no damn more. Either you meant it or you didn't.
Okay. Thank you for asking me about that, because like in the words of Isaiah Washington, I'm going to break it down so it could forever be broken.
Come on.
This is what you have to be careful doing in our society. Number one, when you take on such a position that you took on for the Black diaspora, you have to understand, overstand, and understand what that means. You have to be able to go the extra mile. You have to know that people may show up and knock on your door and may even call your phone. You may have to, you have to over and understand that these people who are resisting us from growing and becoming are not going to make it easy for you. We see that in Sojourner Truth. We see that in Marcus Garvey. We see that in Malcolm X. We see that in Martin Luther King. We see that in Rosa Parks. I mean, I could go on and on. The common denominator with all those people are they're 6 feet under. Why? Because they died for the cause. Now, some died naturally, but most died for the cause. I don't think that he was ready. I don't think he thought it through. I love him. I love him. I love him. I'm glad that he brought the awareness and the attention. But what happened when you got approached by those other people and you retreated, you showed fear factor. And in a position like that, you have to learn never to take that position if you can't handle that smoke. Or because remember, it's not about you anymore. When you take a position like that, it's not about you. Dr. Sebi is not here anymore.
Yeah.
But he never backed down.
That's right.
And so when you take that position, you don't take that position unless you can handle that smoke, unless you're willing to go the extra mile in that position and do what is necessary to create and bring forth change. You continue studying, you do your work, you work entrepreneurship, you open schools, you create a situation for philanthropy, and you do that work there. But when you get shut down in front of the world, it makes us look weak. It makes us look like we don't know what we're talking about. And it makes people who were following you, who were ready to strap their boots, run the other way. Because if they're looking at you as the power and you back down, I watched, and forgive me for talking long, but I watched something.
Go there. Yeah.
I watched something today, and today, a brother named Ben X outed Vlad TV because they were trying to change what the minister had said and flipped it around, and it was done so eloquently. And he actually played the video. He played their segment on Vlad TV where it was completely misquoted.
Yeah.
And then he played what the minister said. It was somewhat of a parable. The minister said, you pick up a rock and you throw it, the rock of truth. So it was a parable. He wasn't talking about a physical rock.
Yeah.
He was talking about the rock of truth.
Yeah.
Throwing the rock of truth. It was a parable. Wow. But they tried to make it as if he was saying it in present tense. He was saying it in a manifested physical rock way. And that was not what they said. So we have to be clear and concise in how we hear and how we distribute and redistribute what we think we heard.
Wow. If this
and we have to call BS when BS shows up and not be scared to do that.
Hello.
Listen, you guys, you have got to share this brother Darrin X. That's what we're gonna call you, brother Darrin X.
Darrin X.
He is preaching up in this thing, and you have made the most sense. You have articulated in a way that I have been trying to articulate this thing with Nick Cannon, because I was so proud of him when I saw the video. And when he recanted, I was like, okay, this ain't really Nick. But then when he kept apologizing, and I was like,
again,
I was like, what are we doing?
They got him. My question was this, and clearly we can't get this answer, but we can make a guesstimate. And this is what I would say. May he rise in power. May he rest in peace. And may he continue to do the work that he's doing. Would Nipsey Hussle apologize?
No, sir.
I don't think.
No.
I don't think. Would he have apologized? Did Dr. Sebi apologize? Nope. No. Did Malcolm apologize? Nope. Did Martin apologize? Nope. Did Sojourner did any of those people who stepped out apologize? They did not. So again, you have to be very, very mindful before taking that position.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's, stand by it.
I think that's powerful because D, when you really think about it, like I guess you said it best, and I echo what Constance said. You know, because what Nick was doing was playing both sides of the fence, right? He was the lily white, lovable face on TV, which was a huge platform. And I understand it's made you dollars, investors, blah, blah, blah. So you got to play that part. But, if you're going to be on this other side, if you're going to rep the culture, you got to rep the culture in the face of whatever. So come on, somebody with Colin Kaepernick. I mean, that dude will never pick up a football for a professional team again. But he ain't back down. He didn't belittle himself under pressure, and he's held his ground the whole time.
And never apologized. And I'm sure he had all kind of threats. And I'm just simply saying this. And again, let me say this again. I love Nick.
Yes, sir.
But again, we don't need people who are going to take the position he took and back down.
Yeah, you're right about that. And I'm just going to say this last thing about Nick. I actually watched the entire video, and most people didn't because they deleted it shortly afterwards. A lot of people read the transcripts. A lot of people saw the snippets, but so much was taken out of context. So much was taken out of context. What they're saying he said, he didn't say. And I was like, well, what part? He wasn't, I didn't see what everybody was saying. And it was taken way out of context, and it just kind of got into, this big snowball of a lot of BS. And unfortunately, he fell under pressure. He faltered under pressure, and he just disappointed a lot of people. Now he's crying. But I really, really pray that while he's reading those other books, because now he's reading a lot of Jewish books, I hope he's still reading his African history books as well.
What I have to say about all of that is this. When something's good, when it's good for you, it's good for me, and good for the greater good. If it just works for you, but it don't work for me, it ain't no good.
Yeah, that part.
And so, and to me, the way we deal with stuff is through universal laws, and we have to acknowledge universal law. We have to acknowledge the law of correspondence. As above, so shall it be below. We have to acknowledge the law of polarity, opposite poles. Where does heat begin and cold stops, right? Where does hate start and love stops? It turns into like and dislike, you see? So we have to really focus on studying, and we have to focus on positioning our inner self. Tony Robbins calls it personal power, right? You have people like Deepak Chopra. You have people like Tony Robbins. You have people like Lisa Nichols, like in The Secret. She said, I know, like I know, like I know. And what that's saying is, when I have a conversation with myself,
come on,
I don't have to ask permission from anybody to live a better life, to have a better life, to ask more of myself than I can ask of anybody else.
Come on.
Right? You talking about what Michael Jordan did when he played basketball, right? Like he became one of the greatest basketball, if not the greatest basketball players ever. It's what Jim Brown did as a football player, as a running back. You do not make excuses about everything else in life. Your life is yours. You live within you.
Come on, Darrin.
You can't live for anybody else. So stop making excuses. So when you stand in a position where you stand, stand that ground, stand in that position, take a deep breath and say, this is who I am. This is what I am. This is what I desire in life.
Stand in it.
And before you do that, ask yourself every question that you need to ask so you can get the answer before making that decision. But education is the key. It's always the key.
Yeah.
Woo. Constance, this guy, Darrin, he's smart.
I'm trying
to tell you he's smart.
I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting he taking us to church.
I wasn't.
He taking us to the temple. Come on, somebody.
Yeah, I told him, give me the cash app, Darrin. Let's put that thing in the feed, brother.
You playing, I might give it to you.
Hey, dude. So listen, D, real talk though. I mean, it's really insightful how you have absolutely articulated, because Constance and I, conversation starters is exactly that. We're always, on the cusp of conversation that's out there, but we don't do what, is traditionally out there. We have a totally different take, but trying to articulate what you said, brother, it was genius. So shout out to you for being able to do that in a way that I haven't heard anybody do in politics, in media, anywhere. So definitely, I love to hear you. Hang on, babe. But here's what I want to ask him.
Let me just say this. He captured the spirit of Donny Hathaway in the outfit, so he had to come correct with it. You know what I'm saying? He figured all already know. He went to the spirit.
Living my life out on stages. So listen, check this out, man. So Constance and I are in the entrepreneur space. Constance owns her own business. I own my own business. I'm in the leadership. She's in real estate, money management, all that kind of good stuff. So for your craft, COVID hit. I remember it was a time, D, I was going to the movie like once a week. My son and I, it was like guaranteed. Father-son time, we're going to check out a movie. Sometimes it was garbage. Sometimes it was great, but that was our time to kind of get out and do something. I don't know when the last time I've been to a movie. So as an actor, as a choreographer, as a dancer, how do you stay busy? How do you keep the checks rolling in? And I don't mean to step on any toes, but I mean, somebody as talented as you, like what are you guys doing in this climate?
Well, primarily one of the most important things for me is to stay creative and to stay cognizant of my personal power. One of the things that I thought was there was so much negativity going on, and people were feeling caged in. They were feeling doubtful. They were feeling depressed. They were feeling not enough. They didn't feel validated. And I thought, you know what? I want to do something about this. I want to help people smile again. And so I created a company called God's Billboard T-shirts.
Come on.
And God's Billboard T-shirts is about being a billboard for God.
Wow.
Now you got some online stuff. Can you shout it out before we get off the broadcast?
Sir. It's godsbillboardtshirts.com. www.godsbillboardtshirts.com. And what I did was I basically started a company that allowed people to become billboards for God. Like I have one shirt that says, I am more than enough, and I approve this message.
Come on.
Another shirt says, I am already validated by the Most High. I don't need your approval. The other shirt says, I'm a spiritual warrior. I fight my battles through prayer. And the women love this shirt so much. Good things take time, so don't ask my age. So, I created a line of shirts that people literally all over the world are buying. And when you see them on Instagram, my Instagram page is gods.billboardtshirts. when you see the faces of the people smiling, when you see the videos of the people crying because of how they feel empowered because they wore their shirt and what they felt.
Wait, D. Constance, put that in the feed because this is what we're going to do. I feel so passionately about what you're doing. Constance and I are going to get a shirt from you, right? And we're going to post on your feed on our page because I want to make sure that right now that you know that we're about Black excellence. So we're about supporting businesses, but we particularly love to get melanin in wherever we can. So I definitely want to.
We're going to wear them on the show for sure.
No doubt. Yeah, for sure. So look out for that. And I'm not doing that to placate to you, to gas you up. I'm so moved by what you have shared thus far. I got to support you, Kat. And I definitely got to big up your product and your brand. So make sure if you're listening to Conversation Starters live broadcast that you go out to the show. I'm sorry, to the site, support this brother, buy his product, buy for your cousin, buy for your boyfriend, your girlfriend, buy the whole family something. This will be Christmas in August. Make sure that you go out and support Black business.
Support, yes.
And it's honestly a beautiful thing. It's so beautiful because you can be a billboard for God and spread positivity, spread affirmations, positivity, opposed to reading a shirt that has negative stuff on it.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. That's beautiful. So before COVID, what were you working on?
Wow. Well, I've again, I say I'm blessed and I'm too stressed to be blessed. I have 2 television series, 2 hit series on network right now. One series is called The Family Business, which you can see on BET and BET Plus, where I play Orlando Duncan in the Duncan family. We're in the 2nd season of The Family Business. And I also have another television series called Double Cross, which is on the UMC network. And I play a detective on Double Cross, and I play a business owner and basically a scientist, a chemist on The Family Business. So I'm living in both of those worlds.
Let me tell you something. James Brown is no longer the hardest working man in show business. Do you understand what I'm talking about? This brother is working.
Yes.
How many shows is he on? Wow.
Man, I'm so happy. So really quickly, we're getting ready to transition into our really want to know series D. But I just want to ask you.
So filled right now. I just want to tell you that right now, Darrin.
For sure, absolutely. So Darrin, after we get off the broadcast, all I'm gonna hear about is Darrin. So you got a new president of the Darrin fan club, brother.
I can't believe she got kids that are out of college, and that's just blowing my mind.
Thank you.
So check it. So somebody who's looking to be in a position where they've got an idea, they've got a script, they've got a series, they got a platform or a movie. Where do they take it? Who do they take it to? And how do they quote unquote get on? Because I know you came up in the whole hip hop era where you took your demo to you stood outside of the radio station. I mean, right. I don't think you can do that anymore. But I mean, what is the way to make them hear your vision or
this your product? This is what I tell people. Speak to the 5-year-old person in them. And most people go, what? And I go, you haven't talked to that person in a really long time, have you? And they said, people ask me, what would you tell your younger self? I said, nothing. I would ask my younger self, because it's the younger self in you that has all the answers. Meaning, the younger self in you knows no fear. The younger self in you will ask 500 questions. Why, where, who, what, when, if, right? So be like that younger person. Ask until you get the answer you want. If you ask somebody and they say no, ask somebody else. If they say no, ask somebody else. And so what I tell people is to do like you did as a child. Ask as many questions as you possibly can and ask as many people as you possibly can. We have social networks. You could DM anybody. You could DM me. You could DM Cardi B. You could DM Denzel Washington and Sam Jackson if they have an Instagram or Twitter. I mean, times have changed. You could get on the Instagram of the biggest directors in the world. You can get on the Instagram and Twitter and Facebook of the biggest producers in the world. They all are connected through social networks. Wow. You can talk to the people who are in your neighborhood in local theaters. You can talk to other actors. If you want to get into acting, speak to actors. If you want to, if you want your script to be seen, speak to writers. Get in touch with the people and correspond with the people who are going to be synergistic with you based upon your level of what you desire for your life in terms of what you want to do. Don't be scared to ask questions. Don't be scared to show up at a building and to speak to an agent. Don't be scared to send a headshot and a resume. Don't be scared to email a headshot and a resume. Get out of your head, get out of your way, and just be what you want to be. You've got to be who you want to be before you become who you want to be.
Ooh,
you know what? Did you hear all that, Constance? I'm going to tell you a quick story that I told the world once before. D. So Constance and I were on the phone one day because we're always talking about the show, who we're going to bring on, who we like to see on the hot seat. And she was on her way to the restroom. I think you were in Chicago, right, Constance?
Oh, yeah.
so she bumps into Common, right?
Yeah.
She's like, what should I say? I'm like, what? Go over there and tell him I'm Constance Carter and I got the hottest platform in the world. I need you on there. Here's my number. Let me get yours real quick. Let's take this picture. You know what she got out of that whole conversation, bro? A picture. I was like, I saw the picture, boo. Like, we on, right? We in there. No. I just didn't know what to say.
Shut up.
That's it, man.
We have to put our position. We have to put ourselves in positions of power. And you know this as entrepreneurs. You put yourself in a position of power by taking action. You want massive change, you take massive action. You want a little change, you take a little action. But you're going to get what you give. Meaning if you try more, you may fail more, but you'll succeed more than the average person. And that's just a fact. It's what it is. If you allow fear to run your life, you won't ever do anything.
Come on now.
Martin Luther King said, you don't got to see the whole staircase, just one step at a time. You can only take one step at a time when you're walking. When you're running, you can only run one leg at a time, but you got to keep going.
I'm about to say and throw it at the screen.
You can't be scared. Let me tell you something. I didn't have any formal dancing training. I didn't have any formal active training. I'm producing shows now. Like I'm a producer on Double Cross, right? I've directed for Showtime, Violation movie. I directed my own movie called The Hotel. I directed Darrin's Dance Grooves. I just jumped in. You jump in and you figure it out. And when you figure it out, oh, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. When you focus on the ROI of your life, what is my return of investment of what I invest in myself? People are always so focused on their return of investment of what they invest in somebody else. But what's your return of investment with yourself?
Come on.
That boy good. Sexual chocolate in the building.
Focus on the ROI of your life. I'm in a hotel right now. I want to run around this hotel room right now. I am so inspired. I think I'm gonna pick up acting. Forget it. Can you put me on there? Put me in the movie. Sure. I am
Consider that done.
Anything. I can do anything.
I can do anything. Yeah.
Yes.
People, you know, I've just got to say this real quick because you're giving me the platform to say it, and people have heard it, but I just want to say it in a way that people really understand it.
Come on.
And you've heard this before, but I want to say it in a way that you understand it.
Understand it.
Those who believe they can and those who believe they cannot are both right. Because if you believe you can, you will. If you believe you can't, you won't. And how do you know if you believe? What actions are you taking daily?
Whoop, whoop.
Come on.
If you are in belief of the success of your life, then you're acting like you're walking in the success of your life. And if you're walking in the success of your life, you're going to be successful because that's the law. It has to show up.
It has to show up.
It has to show up. That's what's meant by knock and the door shall be open. Ask and ye shall receive. It's
the law of reciprocity.
It's give and take. It's what it is, but people don't understand it. They understand it, so they're beneath the knowledge of it. See, knowledge is only potential.
Applied knowledge.
KNOW. Once you know, you still got to jump off the LEDGE. You got to take action, people.
Come on.
You better, right now, you are listening to the Conversation Starters Live. Our featured guest, Darrin, is on right now, dropping nuggets, dropping bombs. My whole face is torn off, and it will never be the same again. I just want to let you know, brother, we got the. You're West Coast or the East Coast?
I'm in California.
You're in Cali. So Constance, mark it down on your important calendar. We got to figure out how to catch post-COVID now. Yeah. How to catch up with D. Be dinner on us, hang out, chop it up for a little bit. And and
man. Let me tell you something. Lisa Nichols, my big sister. Les Brown is my uncle. They both, I'm telling you, taking their jobs.
Let me tell you, I gotta say this. The first book I wrote was because of Lisa Nichols. She showed me how to have my voice. And I sat down when I was in one of her workshops and I wrote down, "Ain't that the truth? Acknowledge, admit, and invite truth into your life." It's one of my first successful books that I learned because Lisa extended herself to me. See, when we work on helping others, we automatically help ourselves.
Right.
And so I just have so much gratitude for you. And I'm thankful for being on your platform. And again, I just want to walk and live in my purpose. And I'm only going to put on the shoes that I know that I can wear. And I'm going to wear them until I can't wear them no more.
Come on.
I love it. Listen, everybody, if you're out there in Conversation Starters Live, I don't even know how to put this dude on the really want to know couch, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Yeah.
I'm going to come straight off the break. Darrin, this is a portion of the show where we ask the questions that we ask, the questions that everybody wants to know.
We asking these questions.
Asking the questions. So, my brother, you have co-starred with some of the most beautiful leading ladies in the entire world, melanin popping all over the place. If you had your chance,
oh shoot,
you single and they single.
Okay, don't get him in trouble now.
I said if.
No, he said if I was single.
If it's an if game right here now.
It's an if game.
If
listening.
If you had Luther Vandross playing If Only One Night, who you want sitting across the dinner table from you? Vivica Fox or Megan Good?
Megan.
Easy.
That's easy.
What are you talking about? Vivica Fox used to be fine.
That used to be.
Operative word.
I love her, but you saying you talking about the right now. So
right now,
now, new opportunity window.
Right. Because Vivica Fox is almost old enough to be Megan Good's mom.
Oh, go now. What you're not going to do, Constance, is talk about
that. She had her birthday. I think she just made like 60.
Come on.
That's sis. It's all good. That's sister. Megan ain't sister. Vivica's sister. Megan ain't sister. Come on, keep going. I want some more. Give me some more.
Ain't no more, brother.
All right.
Give me some more.
All right. Let me ask you this. So are you a hip hop fan or are you an R&B fan? Which one? What's your favorite?
Both.
All right.
I'm the best of both worlds.
Okay. So give us your top 3 R&B of all time. Top 3 male vocalist R&B of all time.
Easy. Tank, Joe, and Luther Vandross.
If you didn't put Luther in there, you was about to lose your black card, brother.
That was easy.
All right.
Hey, look, you know. Wait. Hold on. Footnote. Now, are you going based on talent? Because I didn't hear you mention the aura. Now, is that a reason why, or we're not going to go there?
Wait. He said I said R&B. I said R&B.
The aura is R&B.
No, I didn't. You know what? I never really thought he was a great vocalist. His voice sounded a little shaky to me.
But you still stepping in the name of love?
I mean, his stuff was dope, but he wasn't like a vocalist to me. Like Tank is a vocalist, Joe is a vocalist.
I'll take that.
Luther's a vocalist.
Yeah.
Okay. Top 5 hip hop artists of all time.
Oh.
DJ Scott LaRock, KRS-One, Criminal Minded.
Okay.
Eric B. Rakim. Grandmaster Flash, Furious 5.
Right on.
Okay.
Eminem.
Okay. Come on.
Don't get scared.
Jay-Z.
Okay.
Who? Wait, who?
Jigga Man.
Jay-Z.
Okay.
And I honestly, I can't divide them. I can't divide these two, Pac and Big.
I knew you was gonna say that.
I can't divide them. I can't divide them. I can't divide them.
Well, you know, Rob, that was gonna be his next question. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you ask Rob. Go ahead and ask him.
All right, so I know you want. We are. May they rest in power. I was influenced, and I bumped both of them. And the age-old question between Constance and I is this. I mean, it's Saturday, and you just need the soundtrack of somebody to get you there. Head nodding, and you just need somebody to get you there, and you're gonna bump this all day long. This what I'm doing. Everybody else is doing something. You bumping this all day long. Who you bumping? Biggie or Pop? All day Saturday. Look at my head, Darrin. I don't need both of them.
You know why it's hard? I mean, because you know why it's difficult, because you got. I'm gonna have to say Big.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to say Big, and the reason why I have to say Big is I'm from New York, right? I told you at the top of this, I'm the best of both worlds. I was born and raised in New York. I live in Cali, but the thing is, with Pac, at one point he just got angry, and it was like I couldn't, when I want to dance, that dancer come out, I can listen to Hypnotize. I can listen to Warning Sign. I can listen, you know what I mean? You can listen to all of those with Biggie. With Pac, at some point he just got angry, and the music changed and his voice changed, and it was just like, a lot. So
I get it. Sometimes you don't want to listen to that anger or that negativity. Sometimes you just want to have fun.
You said all day, so
you don't get all tense. All right, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna ask what I asked Warren G. Say tomorrow you woke up as the opposite sex. What will be the first thing that you do?
I have no frame of reference there. Skip, pass.
Come on.
Pass. I got no frame of reference. Y'all not putting the dress on me.
Where she got this question from, man?
I done dodged that bullet a million times. I don't wear dresses.
I'm just saying, you woke up as sex. What would be the first thing? Would you try to go figure out how to pee? Like, what would you do?
Oh man, technical difficulty. I can't hear y'all. Hello?
Hey, hello? The man said he peed standing up. That's it.
Hello?
That's it, right?
Hello?
Period.
Oh man, I think I lost him.
Standing up, that's it.
That's that method acting right there. So listen, this is a really want to know question. All right. Normally we're real light with it, but I feel like you can handle this one because you have certainly inspired me, and I'm so impressed with your presence and your answers and your intellect. If you had 5 minutes and 5 minutes only to talk to the arresting officer that ended up fatally killing George Floyd, what would you say?
Wow. Damn, Robert.
Before or after he killed him?
After. That's where we are right now. That's pretty dope though, before, but it has already happened. And for that matter, any racist cop that has...
I would say to him, no matter what you did, the Most High is always going to use it in Most High's favor. So if what you did, you think you won at, you may started a revolution that ends all people like you. And he used you to actually do that. So don't think you won anything, because the Most High is always in charge.
Boy, I tell you, page 777 of my favorite book says that all things work together
for the
for
good.
them who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose.
Yes.
I love it. Constance, you got one more before we let D get out of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in my pocket. Okay, let me make it light. Taking a woman on a date.
Uh-oh.
What would you choose? A nice candlelight dinner, romantic, or a picnic on the beach?
I would ask her what she wanted to do and where she wanted to.
Okay. But if you had to choose,
I would bring candles to the beach if it was a warm night and if it was conducive of her being open to that and have dinner on the beach. Because you can always go to a restaurant, but you can't go to the beach in the winter. So I would utilize the time on the beach, and hopefully it would be a spring or a summer day. I would actually go I would do something different, because it's a double thing. You could go skinny dipping after dinner.
Pennies are dropping all over America right now. Conversation Starters Live. Skinny dipping with Darrin.
Give us the cash out. I love how thoughtful you are in your responses. Oh my gosh. All right, Rob, last one's on you.
The dude has stopped me, Darrin. Mr. Henson. I'm gonna call you Mr. Henson from now on.
Just so y'all know, this is the best interview I've done all year.
Oh man.
It is literally the best, most fun, informative I've done all year. I promise you that.
Respect. All right, I'm gonna give you a softball. If you had to have a leading lady in a leading role on the next blockbuster film, you and Hollywood's elite has given you a blank check to write it, produce it, and direct it the way that you want. They're giving you two leading ladies to choose, and you can only choose one. Will you choose Erykah Badu or Jill Scott as your leading lady to co-star with you?
I would choose.
I would choose an easy one.
I would choose Erykah.
What? For the movie? Yes.
Speak on it, brother. Speak on it.
I would choose Erykah Badu. Number one,
I
feel her. Number two, I think I know where she operates from. You know, she operates from the laws, meaning she believes in the polarity of life and death. I love her creativity. Yeah. And I like that she deals with the element of surprise. So I don't think I would ever be bored on set. I think she's incredibly intense. She's my height, which makes a difference to me as a leading man. And I could put my arms around her waist and still feel, like a man.
And she got a badunk too.
And she got a badunk, right? She ain't missing the badunk. She keep it covered, but she got a badunk. But definitely Erykah Badu. I mean, I just think that she would be, and hopefully that actually happens. So you might have just spoken something to existence, because she really is a great actress.
Yeah.
Yes. And she's very spontaneous in what she brings to the screen. And I think that's fun. Now, again, that's my choice, but Jill Scott brings it. I want to mention something that Jill Scott did where she was called the women or the female detective. She did this.
The HBO joint.
Africa,
Fire.
Her South African accent was impeccable. It was a great piece, and so I honor her for that. And I love Jill Scott, but I would definitely choose Badu.
Hey, you get in them incense
all day long.
That ain't incense, you smell it, baby. It's herbal essence. Doggone it.
You got something, Rob. I'm a city son, Rob.
Woo! Lord Jesus.
They have a smell to them.
We could rub stones.
That brother got the stuff. That's Erykah Badu for sure.
Man, listen.
Yeah. You have to ask.
All I gotta do is reach to the right. Badu.
See? I know you got the incense laying around there somewhere.
It's right there.
Man, I love it. Well, my friends, this has been a stone cold blast in the words of Don Cornelius on Soul Trains. And if you don't know who that is, boys and girls, you just ain't lived long enough. But I want to tell you, this has been an absolute amazing ride along with the Darrin Henson, Mr. Stomp the Yard, Mr. Soul Food himself.
Listen, Mr. Ain't Stop Working.
Yeah. Jim. Boy need to be an honorary Jamaican. The bomber clad work all the time, work hard, man.
Man, I have enough work, you know what I mean? Man, I not stop nothing over here. Man, I want no fuckery. I gonna keep on being blessed now.
The boy got bars, you hear me?
Oh my God, Rob. I thought I was gonna keep it going. Oh Jesus.
Man, I wish we could keep this thing going on, but I know that we got to let y'all get going to wherever you are. But we appreciate that you have hung out with us this long. Conversation Starters Live is the #1 entertainment platform in the world, not because of us, but because of you. We appreciate you showing your love and your light to each and every one of us. And I just want to tell you one more time, my name is Robert Antoine, along with the lovely
Constance Carter.
And we believe that for every conversation,
there is a situation. You messed that up again.
I wanted to make sure you're on your toes, baby. But listen, I salute you. I love you, my brother. I support you. Anytime I know you're doing something, I'm going to support you and big you up. And I'm definitely going to get the t-shirt. So look for us to post it on IG real soon, my brother. And if the moon and the stars align, I definitely want to connect. Constance and I'll take you out to dinner, whatever, lunch or whatever. We won't be on the beach because we ain't skinny dipping with Constance. That's a whole nother subject. But anyway, we got to connect, man, for sure.
Thank you so much. And if I may say this at the end of this, please follow me on Facebook at Darrin DeWitt Henson, on Instagram at I am Darrin D Henson with the blue check, and Gods.Billboard t-shirts.
You guys support this brother. He is the truth. You heard it today on Conversation Starters Live. Peace out, y'all.